I'm sitting in my car outside my parents' house, engine off, phone screen glowing in the November darkness. The text from my mother came through 20 minutes ago. Family emergency. Need you here tomorrow, 2 p.m. Not optional. No context. No please. Just the assumption that I'll drop everything, the way I always have. Through the front window, I can see them moving around the living room. My father's silhouette passes in front of the TV. My mother's smaller frame hovers near the kitchen doorway. They're probably wondering why I haven't come in yet, why I'm just sitting here in the driveway like some kind of coward. But I'm not a coward. Not anymore. I'm just remembering. 2 weeks ago, we were all sitting around this same dining room table. It was a Tuesday night, nothing special. My mother was carving a roast chicken, the knife moving with the kind of precision that comes from 40 years of practice. My sister Jessica was complaining about childcare costs. Marcus, her husband, was nodding along like a dashboard bobblehead. My father was reading something on his phone, only half listening. I was there, but I might as well have been furniture. "Mom, I really need help with the kids over Thanksgiving weekend," Jessica said, her voice taking on that particular tone she uses when she wants something. Soft, slightly helpless, guaranteed to work. Marcus has that real estate conference in Seattle, and the daycare is closed, and I have parent-teacher conferences all week. "Of course, honey," Mom said without looking up from the chicken. "We'll take them Wednesday through Sunday." "What about Anna?" My father's voice, quiet but present. Everyone looked at me. I hadn't said anything, hadn't volunteered, hadn't even been asked. "Anna doesn't mind," Jessica said, answering for me. "She's always saying she's too busy anyway." My mother's knife paused, just for a second, hovering over the breastbone. When she spoke, her voice was light, casual, like she was commenting on the weather and not handing down a verdict that had been brewing for 27 years. "Jessica's family will always come first, Anna. That's just how it is." She resumed carving, the blade sliding clean through the joint. "You're more independent." My father looked at me, looked at my mother, then nodded. Just once. Agreement without words. I could have argued. Could have pointed out that independent wasn't a personality trait I was born with. It was a survival skill I developed because I had no other choice. Could have mentioned that maybe, just once, someone might ask what I wanted instead of just assuming what I could handle. But I didn't. I just set down my fork, pushed back from the table, and said, "Good to know." My mother glanced up, confused by my tone. "Honey, you understand, right? Jessica has responsibilities." "I understand perfectly," I said. And I did. For the first time in my life, I heard the truth spoken plainly, without the soft focus filter of family dynamics, or different needs, or any of the other euphemisms we'd use to avoid naming what this was. Favoritism. I was always going to be last. Now, sitting in my car 2 weeks later, I pull up that text again. Family emergency. Need you here tomorrow, 2 p.m. I already know what they want. I've known since the moment the text arrived. This isn't about Thanksgiving plans or borrowing my car or asking me to dog sit. This is bigger. This is the kind of emergency that requires my wallet, not my presence. I take a breath, turn the key, and drive away. I don't go inside. I'm not ready yet. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., I'll show up. I'll hear whatever crisis has brought them to my door. But tonight I need to remember exactly how I got here, to this moment, this decision, this strange sense of clarity that feels like grief and freedom all at once. Because the thing about being invisible is that people don't notice when you start to disappear. Age 16. The car. It was June, the summer before my junior year. I came home from my shift at the grocery store to find our driveway glowing like a car commercial. My mother had positioned a Honda Civic, cherry red, fresh off the lot, directly under the street light. The paint caught every angle of the evening sun. Jessica stood beside it, holding keys that glinted like treasure. She was screaming, actually screaming with joy, while my parents recorded the whole thing on their phones. My mother's voice carried all the way up to my bedroom window. "Your future is worth investing in, sweetheart. You're going to do such amazing things." I watched from behind my curtain, still wearing my grocery store polo that smelled like produce mist and floor cleaner. The rational part of my brain understood it. Jessica was turning 16. This was a milestone. Of course they'd celebrate. But the part of my brain that kept track, the part that couldn't help but notice patterns, was already doing the math. Jessica got a new car. I'd be 16 in 6 months. Surely there'd be something similar waiting for me. Maybe not new, but something. 6 months later, on my birthday, there was a cake on the kitchen counter. No candles. No surprise waiting in the driveway. My father slid a card across the granite. "Happy birthday, sweetheart." Inside printed letters. "We're so proud of you." I smiled because that's what you do. "Thanks, Dad." 16 is a big year, my mother added, wiping down the counters. "You'll want to start thinking about getting a job, saving up. Independence is important." Jessica had gotten a car and a speech about her bright future. I got a speech about responsibility. The thing is, I didn't even want the same car Jessica got. I would have been happy with something used, something practical. But what stung, what I couldn't shake, was the difference in the message. Jessica's future was worth investing in. Mine was worth learning from. So I did what they expected. I picked up extra shifts at the grocery store, stocked shelves at 5 a.m. before school, saved every dollar that didn't go to gas or lunch. 8 months later, I bought my own car, a 2003 Toyota Corolla with 140,000 miles and a dent in the back bumper. I drove it home on a Saturday afternoon, proud and exhausted. My mother was in the garden. "Oh, you got a car, that's nice, honey." That was it. No photos, no celebration, just "that's nice." Followed by, "Can you run to the store? We're out of milk." I went to the store. Later that night, I sat in my new-to-me Corolla in the grocery store parking lot and cried for reasons I couldn't quite name. It wasn't about the car. It was about the fact that when Jessica got something, it was an event. When I got the same thing through my own effort, it was expected. I learned something that night. In my family, independence wasn't a gift. It was a disqualification from being taken care of. Age 18 to 22, college years. Jessica went to Portland State University with a full ride from our parents. Tuition, books, apartment deposit, monthly allowance for food and gas. She sent photos of her dorm room, her new laptop, her textbooks stacked in aesthetically pleasing arrangements. My mother framed one of those photos and put it on the mantel. When my turn came, I sat at the kitchen table with my acceptance letter to the same university and a financial aid package that covered about 60% of costs. "This is great, Anna," my father said, reading over the numbers. "With scholarships and loans, you should be fine." "What about—" I hesitated, hating how small my voice sounded. "What about help, like Jessica had?" My parents exchanged a look. My mother spoke carefully, like she was explaining something obvious. "Jessica needed more support, honey. She's not as academically driven as you are. You're smart enough to get scholarships." She wasn't. But I didn't get a full scholarship. "You'll figure it out," Dad said, patting my shoulder. "You always do." So I did. I worked 3 jobs: morning shift at a cafe, afternoon tutoring, weekend catering gigs. I took out loans. I lived in the cheapest dorm, then moved off campus to split a basement apartment with 2 other girls. I bought my textbooks used or pirated them online. I ate ramen and peanut butter sandwiches and learned to stretch $1 until it screamed. Jessica posted Instagram photos of brunch with friends, new clothes, weekend trips to the coast. I posted nothing because I was too tired to curate a life that looked good online. Sophomore year, during finals week, I hit a wall. I'd worked a double shift, slept 3 hours, and had 2 exams the next day. I was sitting in my campus library at 2 a.m. crying into my microeconomics textbook because I couldn't make my brain absorb another word. I called home. My mother answered on the 3rd ring, voice thick with sleep. "Anna, what's wrong?" I'm so tired, Mom. I don't know if I can do this." "Oh, sweetie." I heard rustling, her sitting up in bed. "You're just stressed. You need to sleep. It'll look better in the morning." "I work the morning shift. I can't sleep." Well, a pause. Then, listen, honey, Jessica is having a really hard time with her student teaching placement. Can I call you back tomorrow? I need to check in with her first thing. Something inside me went quiet. Sure, yeah, no problem. You're going to be fine, Anna. You always land on your feet. She didn't call back. I learned something else that night. When you're strong enough to survive alone, people assume you prefer it that way. Age 24. The graduation. I graduated with a degree in computer engineering on a Saturday in June. The ceremony was at 10 a.m. My parents were in Seattle for Jessica's baby shower. We'll try to make it back in time, my mother had said 2 weeks earlier. But Jessica's shower is scheduled for the whole weekend, and she really needs us there. You understand? I understood. I walked across the stage in a rented cap and gown, heard my name echo through the auditorium. Ana Maria Martinez, Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering, summa cum laude. A few strangers clapped. My roommate cheered from the graduate section. I held my diploma and smiled for a photographer I'd never see again. Afterward, I went to a coffee shop near campus, the kind of place with good lighting and local art on the walls. I ordered an overpriced latte and a croissant, my own private celebration. That's where I met Harper. She was sitting 2 tables over, sketching something in a moleskin notebook, her dark hair pulled back in a messy bun. When she looked up and caught me staring, she smiled. "You look like someone who just accomplished something big," she said. I blinked. "How can you tell?" "The way you're sitting, like you're not sure whether to celebrate or cry." She closed her notebook. "I'm Harper." "Anna." "Congratulations on whatever it is, Anna." I don't know why I told her. Maybe because she was a stranger and it didn't matter. Maybe because I was so tired of pretending everything was fine. "I just graduated," I said. "Engineering degree, 4 years of hell. No one's here." Harper didn't do the thing people usually do, make excuses for my family or tell me they probably wanted to be there. She just said, "That's lonely." "Yeah," I said. And then I started crying right there in the coffee shop, in front of this complete stranger who'd simply named what I was feeling. Harper moved to my table, slid a napkin across to me, and sat quietly while I pulled myself together. "You know what?" she said eventually. "I'm an architect. I just finished a project I've been working on for 8 months. I was going to celebrate alone, too. Want to celebrate together instead?" We spent the rest of the day walking around the city, talking about everything except family. She told me about buildings. I told her about code. By the time the sun set, I had her number and the beginning of something I couldn't quite name yet. Friendship. Maybe more. The point is, I graduated alone, but I didn't end the day alone. Small victories. 2 days after the family dinner where my mother announced I'd always be last, I'm sitting at my kitchen table with my laptop, a glass of wine, and a spreadsheet that's about to ruin my night. Harper is on my couch, pretending to read a book, but really just giving me space to process whatever this is. I've titled the document, Family Financial History, Ana Martinez. Column A, what Jessica received. Column B, what Ana received. Column C, what Ana loaned. Never repaid. I start with what I know for certain, pulling up old emails, text messages, bank statements. My hands are shaking slightly as I type. Jessica. Sweet 16 car, $18,000. I found the purchase agreement in an old email Dad sent to his accountant. College tuition, 4 years, $85,000. College apartment, $2,400 month, chapter 8 months, Ixos 150 on 200. Monthly allowance, 848 months, it's 3,400. Graduation gift, $5,000. Wedding, $45,000. I was a bridesmaid. I saw the invoices. House down payment, gift, $40,000. I pause, staring at the total. $346,600. My throat feels tight. Anna. Sweet 16, birthday card. College support, $0. Graduation gift, $500 check. Wedding gift. I'm not married, but theoretically. TBD, probably $0 total invested in Anna. 500, the ratio is so absurd I almost laugh. Almost. Then there's column C, the one that makes me feel sick. Loans to Jessica, unpaid. 2019, $2,000. Emergency car repair. She bought new rims instead. 2020, $3,500. Credit card debt before wedding. 2021, $4,200. Marcus's business startup costs. 2022, $2,800. Temporary help with mortgage. Total Anna gave Jessica, $12,500 total Jessica repaid. So I lean back in my chair, staring at the numbers. They aren't just figures. They're a map of every choice my family made about who mattered more. You okay over there? Harper's voice is gentle. I'm looking at numbers, I say, my voice hollow. Jessica got $346,000 from our parents. I got $500. Harper sets down her book. Anna? And that's not even counting the intangibles. The baby showers they attended. The crisis calls they answered. The Sunday dinners centered around her kids. I take a drink of wine. I kept thinking maybe I was being too sensitive. Maybe I was imagining the favoritism. But it's right here, in numbers. Harper crosses to the table, looks at the screen. She's quiet for a long moment. Those aren't feelings, she says finally. Those are facts. Am I being petty? I ask. Keeping track like this? You're not keeping track. Your bank statements are keeping track. She pulls out the chair next to me. The question is, what are you going to do with this information? I don't have an answer yet. Instead, I open my banking app. I have 3 accounts, checking, savings, and an investment portfolio I started 2 years ago when I got my first real engineering job. Checking, $8,200 savings, $67,000. Investments, $73,500 total, $148,700. I've been living like someone who expects the world to forget her. Small apartment, used car, minimal spending. Every bonus, every raise, every tax return, straight into savings. I told myself it was financial responsibility, but really it was armor. When you grow up knowing you can't count on anyone, you learn to count on yourself. I need to move this, I say suddenly. Move what? Most of my savings. To a new account. One they don't know about. My parents have my routing number for my main savings account. Years ago, my mother asked for it in case of emergency. I gave it without thinking. She's never used it, but she could. Harper nods slowly. You're protecting yourself. Is that wrong? No, she says firmly. It's smart. I spend the next hour opening a new high-yield savings account at a different bank entirely. I transfer $125,000 out of my existing accounts, leaving just enough to look normal if anyone checked. Emergency fund, they'd call it. For me, it's more than that. It's the foundation of a life they don't get to touch. Next, I go through my automatic payments. There are more than I realized. Family Netflix account, $15.99 month. I'm the one paying. Jessica's kids' birthday fund, $50 month. Started 3 years ago at Mom's request. Family phone plan, $45 month. My share, even though Jessica pays $0. I cancel all of them. Each confirmation screen feels like a small act of rebellion. Or maybe just honesty. Harper watches me work. How do you feel? Like I'm doing something wrong, I admit. But also like I should have done this years ago. Both can be true. I pull up a blank document and start drafting an email I might never send. To my family, I will not assume responsibility for decisions I didn't make. I will not finance emergencies I didn't create. I will not be the fallback plan for problems I didn't cause. If you need my help, you can ask, but you cannot assume. Anna, I save it in my drafts folder. Insurance, in case tomorrow goes the way I think it will. By the time I close my laptop, it's past midnight. Harper has fallen asleep on the couch, her book open on her chest. I grab a blanket, drape it over her, and stand there for a moment looking at this person who chose to be in my life without any obligation or blood relation. She stays because she wants to. My family never learned the difference between wanting someone around and needing someone useful. I'm about to learn it for them. 3 weeks pass. I don't go to Sunday dinner. The first week, I text, "Can't make it. Work project on deadline." My mother responds, "Okay, honey, see you next week." The second week, "Still swamped, sorry." "Mom, you work too hard. Come when you can." The third week, I don't offer an excuse. I just don't show up. My phone rings at 6:47 p.m. I let it go to voicemail. Mom's message. "Hi, sweetie. Just checking if you're okay. We missed you at dinner. Jessica made your favorite dessert. Call me back when you can." I don't call back. It's not about punishing them. It's about creating space. For the first time in my life, I want to see what happens when I stop being the one who accommodates, who bends, who shows up without being asked. On Tuesday, my mother texts, "Can you lend Jessica $500? She had an unexpected car repair and won't get paid until Friday." This is the test. This is the moment that will tell me if anything has actually changed, or if that dinner table declaration, "You're always last," was just words they've already forgotten. I stare at the text for 10 minutes. The old Anna would have Venmo'd the money immediately, would have added an extra $50 just in case, would have told Jessica not to worry about paying it back. The new Anna, the one who looked at spreadsheets and saw her worth measured in dollars, types, "I'm tight this month. Sorry." I hit send before I can second-guess myself. 3 dots appear immediately, disappear, appear again. Finally, "Oh, okay, no problem." But there's a follow-up 5 minutes later from my mother. "Is everything okay, Anna? You seem distant lately." I don't respond. Another text, an hour later. "If we did something to upset you, please tell us." Still nothing from me. The silence feels like holding my breath underwater. Uncomfortable, unnatural, but necessary. Wednesday night, Harper and I have dinner at my place. I cook pasta, nothing fancy, just garlic and olive oil and vegetables, while she tells me about a client who wants to put a rooftop garden on a building that can't structurally support it. "So what did you tell them?" I ask, draining the pasta. I told them the truth, that just because you want something doesn't mean the foundation can hold it. I pause, colander in hand. "Are we still talking about buildings?" She smiles. "Maybe not." We eat on the couch, plates balanced on our knees, some nature documentary playing in the background. "I got an email today," I say during a segment about penguins, "from a support group." A support group? For adults who grew up with familial favoritism. I feel silly saying it out loud. "Someone recommended it on Reddit." Harper sets down her fork. "Did you go?" "To a meeting? No, but I read through their resources page." I pull out my phone, show her the website. There's a whole section called "You're Not Crazy," recognizing the golden child scapegoat dynamic. And apparently everything I've experienced has a name. There are patterns. Other people have lived this exact same thing. My voice cracks slightly. I thought it was just me, just my family being, I don't know, subtly dysfunctional. "It's not subtle if you're the one living it," Harper says quietly. "There's a woman named Claire who runs the group. She emailed me personally, said if I ever want to talk, she's available." I scroll through the email again. She gave her brother $50,000 for a business that failed. He never paid her back, and when she asked for help years later when she lost her job, he said he couldn't afford it. What happened? She cut him off. The whole family called her selfish, but she said it was the best decision she ever made, because it finally made her realize that being family doesn't entitle you to someone's resources without accountability. Harper reaches over, takes my hand. "Are you going to talk to her?" "Maybe. I don't know." I squeeze her fingers. Part of me feels like I'm being dramatic, like I should just get over it. And the other part? The other part is really fucking tired of getting over it. We sit in silence for a while, watching penguins waddle across ice. "My family asked for money," I say eventually. "Jessica needed $500. I said no." How did that feel? Terrifying. Like I'd broken some rule I didn't know I was following. I pause. But also, right. It felt right. "That's not nothing, Anna." "My mom asked if something was wrong, if they'd upset me." "What did you say?" Nothing. I didn't respond. Harper nods slowly. And how does the silence feel? I think about it. Clean, like I'm finally not carrying something that was never mine to hold. Thursday morning, I'm at my desk at work when my phone buzzes. Not a text this time, a call from my dad. Robert Martinez doesn't call unless something is actually wrong. I step into an empty conference room and answer. Hey, Dad. Anna. His voice is careful, measured. Your mother's worried about you. I'm fine. Are you sure? You've missed 3 Sunday dinners. I've been busy. Too busy for family? There it is. The gentle guilt, the implication that I'm failing some unspoken obligation. Dad, I'm 27. I don't need to come to every Sunday dinner. Of course not. But it's not like you to just, disappear. I'm not disappearing. I'm just living my life. Silence on the line. Then, did we do something wrong? The question is so earnest, so genuinely confused, that I almost laugh. Almost. Do you really want to know? Another pause. Longer this time. Yes. I take a breath. This is it. The moment I could unload everything. The car, the college money, the lifetime of being second. But something stops me. Not fear, not even kindness. Just the knowledge that this conversation deserves more than a phone call at 9 a.m. on a Thursday. I think we should have a family meeting, I say instead. A real one, where everyone actually listens. Okay, Dad says slowly. When? I'll let you know. I hang up before he can respond. Back at my desk, I open my drafts folder and look at that unsent email. I read it again, then close the laptop. Not yet, but soon. Sunday arrives. The text from my mother comes at 10:13 a.m. Family meeting today, 2 p.m. Important, not optional. There it is. I knew this was coming. The moment I stopped being available, stopped being useful, they'd find a reason to pull me back in. And I know what this is about. Money. Jessica and Marcus are in trouble, and they need someone to save them. They need me. I text back. I'll be there. Harper finds me in the bedroom, staring at my closet like the clothes matter. They don't. This isn't about what I wear, but picking an outfit gives my hands something to do. You don't have to go, Harper says from the doorway. Yes, I do. Why? I pull out a simple sweater, jeans, casual, unbothered. Because I need to see it. Whatever they're going to ask, I need to see them ask it. Do you want me to come? I turn to look at her. Would you? Anna, I'd walk through fire for you. A passive-aggressive family meeting is nothing. Despite everything, I smile. Not yet, but I might need you to come to the next one. There's going to be a next one? Oh yeah, I say, pulling the sweater over my head. This is just the beginning. At 1:58 p.m., I pull up to my parents' house. The driveway is full. Mom's car, Dad's truck, Jessica's SUV, Marcus's sedan. Everyone's here. I sit in my car for 2 minutes, watching the clock tick over to 2 p.m. Then 2:01. I'm not late, but I'm not early either. At 2:03, I get out and walk to the front door. It opens before I can knock. My mother stands there, face tight with something I can't quite read. Relief? Anxiety? Anna, thank God. Come in, come in. The living room looks like a war room. Papers spread across the coffee table. Both my parents in their recliners, pulled forward like they're manning battle stations. Jessica on the couch, hands clasped in her lap. Marcus beside her, eyes on the floor. Nobody looks at me directly. I take the armchair near the window. So, I say, what's the emergency? My mother exchanges a look with my father. He clears his throat. There's been a situation. I wait. Jessica speaks, her voice small. We're in trouble, Anna. What kind of trouble? Marcus finally looks up. Financial trouble. And just like that, I know I was right. I know exactly why I'm here. In this room, at 2 p.m. on a Sunday. Not optional. They don't need me. They need my money. The question is, what am I going to do about it? I lean back in the chair, cross my legs, and say the only thing that feels honest. Tell me everything. The papers on the coffee table are spread out like evidence at a crime scene. Bank statements, overdue notices, legal documents with words like plaintiff and settlement stamped across the top. My father picks up the first sheet, his hands not quite steady. Marcus's real estate business ran into some, complications. Complications, Marcus echoes, like he's trying out the word to see if it fits. It doesn't. I wait. I've learned that silence is a kind of power. People rush to fill it, and in that rush, they tell you more than they intended. Jessica twists her wedding ring. There was a lawsuit. A client claimed Marcus misrepresented a property. Drainage issues, foundation problems. Things the inspector should have caught, but didn't. I didn't know, Marcus says quickly. I swear I didn't know about the foundation. The court didn't care, my mother adds, her voice tight. The settlement was $85,000, I say, reading the number off one of the papers. The room goes quiet. That's just the settlement, my father says. There were legal fees, court costs. I pick up another document, then another, each one a new depth to this hole they've dug. Mortgage, 4 months behind. $12,000 to catch up. Private school tuition. 2 semesters overdue. $8,000. Credit cards. Maxed out. Minimum payments missed. $15,000 in immediate debt. Various other bills. Medical, car payments, utilities threatening shutoff. Another $5,000. I do the math in my head, then out loud. $105,000. Jessica makes a sound between a sob and a gasp. We've been trying, Marcus says. I picked up work as a contractor, but it's not enough. The lawsuit destroyed my reputation. No one wants to hire a realtor who got sued for misrepresentation. When did the lawsuit settle? I ask. 4 months ago. And you're just telling the family now? Silence. We thought we could handle it, Jessica whispers. We thought if we just worked harder, cut back on spending. Did you cut back on spending? I ask, and my voice is neutral, genuinely curious. Jessica's eyes dart away. We tried. I reach for my phone, open my email. Last month, Jessica sent a message to the family group chat, a photo of her and Marcus at some fancy restaurant downtown. Date night much needed, the caption read. Hearts and champagne emojis. 2 weeks ago, another photo. The kids in brand new soccer uniforms. First game of the season. Go team. Private school tuition was overdue, but there was money for uniforms. I don't bring up the photos. Not yet. I just file the information away. My mother leans forward, her hands clasped like prayer. We've done the math, Anna. Your father and I can pull together $30,000 from our retirement savings. It's not ideal, but Jessica needs help. That leaves $75,000, I say. Yes. Mom looks at me directly now, and I see it. The assumption already made, the decision already rendered. We were hoping you could cover the rest. There it is. Not can you help, not would you be willing. Just we were hoping you could. Past tense, as if my agreement is a foregone conclusion. How did you arrive at $75,000 for me? I ask. My father shifts in his seat. Well, you have a good job. You make what, $90,000 a year? 100? I make $110,000, I say. But that's not what I asked. I asked how you decided I should pay $75,000. You're single, my mother says, as if this explains everything. You don't have children. Your expenses are lower. You have savings, we know you do. You've always been so good with money. Because I had to be, I say quietly. No one seems to hear me. Jessica speaks up, her voice cracking. Anna, please, we could lose the house. The kids could lose their school. Everything we've built. Everything you built on credit you couldn't afford, I say. Marcus flinches. That's not fair. Isn't it? We made mistakes, Jessica says, crying now. We know that, but we're family. You're my sister. We do this for you. Would you? I want to ask, but I don't, because the honest answer would break something, and we're not quite there yet. My father slides a piece of paper across the table. It's a handwritten list, items highlighted in yellow. Mortgage catch-up, $12,000. Legal fees remaining, $8,000. School tuition, $8,000. Credit card debt, $15,000. Monthly support, estimate, $2,000 a month for 6 months equals $12,000. Cushion for emergencies, $10,000. Total, $65,000. We thought $75,000 would give them some breathing room, Dad explains. I stare at the list. At my name, nowhere on it. At their assumption that my breathing room doesn't matter. I need time to think about this, I say. How much time? Mom asks, and there's an edge to her voice now, something sharp beneath the worry. 48 hours. Anna, the mortgage company is threatening foreclosure. We don't have 48 hours. Then you should have told me 4 months ago when the lawsuit settled. I stand up. I'll have an answer by Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. Jessica stands too, frantic. What's there to think about? We need help. You can help. It's simple. It's not simple, I say. Nothing about this is simple. My mother's face hardens just slightly. We're asking you to help your sister, your family. I don't understand what's complicated about that. I could explain it, could pull out my phone and show them the spreadsheet from 3 nights ago, the $346,600 invested in Jessica versus the $500 invested in me. Could ask why their retirement is worth $30,000 of help, but my entire savings should be fair game. But I don't. Instead, I pick up my bag and head for the door. Anna, my father's voice stops me. We raised you better than this. I turn back, and for the first time, I see something close to disappointment in his eyes. You raised me to be independent, I say, to handle things on my own, to not ask for help. Congratulations, Dad. It worked. I walk out before anyone can respond. Monday morning, I call in sick to work. I'm not sick, but I'm not functional either, and my boss is understanding enough not to ask questions. I spend the first hour just sitting on my couch, staring at nothing. Harper left early for a site meeting, but she left coffee in the pot and a note on the counter. You don't owe them certainty. Take your time. I drink the coffee. I don't feel certain about anything. By 10 a.m., I'm at my laptop, doing something I probably shouldn't. Investigating. I start with Jessica's social media. I scroll back through the last 4 months, the ones where she and Marcus were supposedly drowning in debt, cutting back on spending, desperate. August. Photo of Marcus holding shopping bags from Nordstrom, treating myself to new work clothes, fresh start energy. September. Family photo at the coast, weekend getaway to recharge. The hotel in the background is not cheap. I recognize it from a conference I attended. $300 a night minimum. October. Picture of Jessica's hand holding a new iPhone. Finally upgraded. This camera is incredible. November, 2 weeks ago. The family at a steakhouse. Celebrating Marcus's new contractor gig. Each post is a tiny betrayal, but together they form a pattern. I screenshot everything. Then I do something that makes me feel invasive and justified all at once. I check the family email account. It's the one we all share, created years ago for coordinating holidays and sharing photos. Everyone has the password. I find what I'm looking for in the trash folder, an email Jessica sent to Marcus, then deleted. Subject: Hawaii confirmation, body vacation package confirmed. $8,200 for all 4 of us. Resort looks amazing. Kids are going to love it. We leave June 15th. Can't wait. The email is dated 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago, they were booking an $8,200 vacation to Hawaii. 4 weeks ago, they were asking my family for $105,000. I sit back, the laptop screen blurring slightly. This is twist number 3, the moment where my sympathy, what little remained, evaporates into something harder. Not quite anger, more like clarity. They're not in trouble because of bad luck or circumstances beyond their control. They're in trouble because they never learned the difference between what they wanted and what they could afford. And because my parents spent 27 years teaching Jessica that there would always be someone to catch her when she fell, I forward the email to myself, then delete it from my sent folder. Evidence. At 2 p.m., I meet Claire for coffee. She's older than I expected, maybe 50, with gray streaks in her dark hair and the kind of calm presence that comes from hard-won peace. "Thank you for meeting me," I say as we sit down. "Of course." She stirs honey into her tea. "Your email sounded urgent." I tell her everything. The Sunday dinners I stopped attending, the spreadsheet, the family meeting, the $75,000 they expect me to produce like it's pocket change. Claire listens without interrupting. When I'm done, she asks one question. "Do you want to help them?" "I don't know," I admit. "Part of me does. They're my family. Jessica's my sister, and those kids, my niece and nephew, they didn't ask for any of this." "That's not what I asked." Claire's eyes are kind but unyielding. "Do you want to help them? Not because you're supposed to, not because they're family, not because it's the right thing to do. Do you, Anna, want to give them $75,000? I open my mouth to answer and realize I can't. "I don't know how to separate what I want from what I'm supposed to want," I say finally. "That's the work," Claire says, "learning the difference." She tells me her story then. The brother who needed money for a business, the $50,000 she gave him from her savings, the business that failed within a year, the years of excuses about why he couldn't pay her back. "And then I lost my job," Claire says. "Medical billing. The whole department got outsourced. I called my brother, asked if he could help me with rent while I looked for work. You know what he said?" I shake my head. "He said he'd love to help, but he had his own bills to pay. He said I was smart, resourceful, that I'd land on my feet." She smiles, but it's not happy. The same things I told myself when I gave him that money. Family helps family. He'd do the same for me. Would he have? No. And that's when I learned something important. Some people see love as obligation. Others see it as transaction. Very few see it as choice. What did you do? I stopped lending money. I stopped making myself small so others could take up space. I stopped waiting for them to see my worth. She takes a sip of tea. "My family called me selfish. Some of them still don't talk to me. But you know what I have now?" "What?" "Peace, boundaries, a life that's actually mine." She leans forward. "Anna, you can help them if you want, but if you do it on your terms, not theirs." That night, Harper comes home to find me surrounded by papers. "You're building something," she observes. "A case," I say. "Or maybe a defense, I'm not sure yet." She sits beside me, looks at what I've assembled, the spreadsheet showing the financial disparity, the screenshots from social media, the Hawaii vacation email, bank statements showing my actual savings, a loan agreement template I found online. "This is good work," Harper says quietly. "It feels calculated." "It is calculated. That doesn't make it wrong." She picks up one of the screenshots, Jessica at the steakhouse. "They calculated too, Anna. They just didn't show you their math." I lean against her shoulder, exhausted. "What if I'm wrong? What if I'm being vindictive? Are you doing this to punish them?" "No." "Then what are you doing?" I think about it. About the car I bought myself. About the college degree I earned alone. About every time I made myself smaller so Jessica could shine brighter. "I'm making myself visible," I say. "Then you're not wrong." We sit in silence for a while. Then Harper asks, "Do you know what you're going to say to them?" "Yeah," I say. "I think I do." Wednesday, 5:47 p.m. I pull up to my parents' house with Harper beside me and a 3-ring binder in my lap. "You ready?" Harper asks. "No, but I'm doing it anyway." Inside, they're waiting in the same formation. Mom and Dad in their recliners, Jessica and Marcus on the couch. But this time, there's something different in the air. Not quite hope, but expectation. They think I'm here to save them. I take the same armchair. Harper sits in a chair from the dining room, quiet support. My mother looks at Harper, confused. "I didn't realize this was Harper, honey, this is family business. She's here as my witness, I say calmly. Your witness? Dad's eyebrows rise. Anna, what's going on? I set the binder on the coffee table. It lands with a soft thud that somehow echoes. I've spent the last 48 hours thinking about your request, I begin, and I've made a decision. Jessica grips Marcus's hand. My mother leans forward. But before I tell you what I've decided, I need you to understand something. I open the binder. I need you to see what you've never asked to see. The first page is the spreadsheet. I watch my mother's eyes move across the columns, watch her face change as she processes the numbers. 346,600 for Jessica, 500 for Anna. Why did you, she starts, then stops. Why were you tracking this? I wasn't tracking it. I was reviewing my bank statements and noticed a pattern. I flipped to the next page. This is every time Jessica asked me for money, $12,500. None of it repaid. Anna. Jessica's voice is small. I'm not done. Next page, printouts of social media posts, the Nordstrom bags, the beach weekend, the new iPhone, the steakhouse. My father picks up one of the screenshots, his hand trembling slightly. What is this? This is the last 4 months, while you were in crisis, supposedly cutting back. I pull out the final page, the Hawaii vacation email. Marcus goes pale. Jessica covers her mouth. You booked an $8,000 vacation 6 weeks ago, I say. 4 weeks ago, you asked me for $75,000. The room is so quiet I can hear the refrigerator humming in the kitchen. We were going to cancel it, Jessica whispers. But you didn't. You just hid it. My mother finds her voice. Anna, I don't understand what you're trying to... I'm trying to show you the truth, the one you've never wanted to see. I close the binder. For 27 years, you invested in Jessica. You taught her that there would always be a safety net, that she didn't have to worry about consequences because someone would always catch her. And you taught me that I was only valuable when I was useful, that love in this family was earned through silence and service. That's not... Mom's voice breaks. We never meant intent doesn't erase impact, I say, and I realize I'm quoting Dr. Singh even though I've never met her. I take out a second document. I'm willing to help, but not the way you want. I slide the paper across to them. This is a loan agreement. I will lend Jessica and Marcus $50,000, not $75,000, at 4% interest, below market rate. 7-year repayment plan, monthly installments of $698. Marcus picks up the paper, scanning it. This is a legal contract. Yes. You're treating us like a bank, Jessica says, and there's hurt in her voice. You're treating me like an ATM, I reply. At least my way has terms. My father stands up, agitated. This is your sister Anna. Family doesn't charge interest. Family also doesn't assume their children's savings are community property, I say. But here we are. I pull out the next page. There are additional requirements. Jessica and Marcus will complete 6 months of financial counseling with a certified planner. No luxury purchases over $500 without counselor approval for 2 years. Monthly budget reviews. You're punishing us, Jessica says, tears streaming down her face. I'm protecting myself. There's a difference. Anything else? My mother's voice is ice. Yes. This is the hard part. This is climax number 1. We're all going to family therapy. 12 sessions, everyone attends. We're going to talk about favoritism, about the patterns in this family, about the way love got confused with enabling. Absolutely not, Mom says. Then I don't help. My voice is steady, but my hands are shaking. I clasp them together. Those are my terms. This is ridiculous, Dad says. We don't need therapy. We need help with a financial emergency. No. And suddenly my voice isn't steady anymore. It's cracking, breaking open. You created a financial emergency by never teaching Jessica that actions have consequences, by giving her everything and teaching me I deserve nothing, by making me earn love that should have been free. I'm crying now, really crying, and I don't try to stop it. I worked 3 jobs in college while Jessica got an allowance. I graduated alone because you chose her baby shower. I've been invisible in this family for 27 years, and the first time you really see me is when you need something from me. Harper hands me a tissue. I take it, wipe my eyes, keep going. I'm not punishing you. I'm asking you to finally see me, to acknowledge that I matter, that my needs matter, that I am not just the strong one who doesn't need anything. My voice drops to a whisper. I needed you at my graduation. I needed you to ask how I was doing. I needed you to see that independence isn't a personality trait. It's a survival skill I learned because I had no other choice. The silence that follows is deafening. My mother is crying. My father's jaw is clenched. Jessica has her face in her hands. I stand up, legs unsteady. You have 72 hours. Wednesday, 6 p.m. After that, the offer expires, and you handle this yourselves. And if we say no? Marcus asks quietly. I look at him, then at Jessica, then at my parents. Then I'll know exactly where I stand, and I'll stop pretending I don't. I pick up my binder. Harper stands with me. We walk to the door. Behind us, no one speaks. Outside in the car, I put my head on the steering wheel and sob, great heaving cries that shake my whole body. Harper's hand rests on my back. You did it, she says softly. You made yourself visible. I did. And God, it hurts. But it also feels like breathing for the first time in 27 years. I start the car and drive away from the house, not knowing if they'll accept my terms or cut me out completely. Either way, I'm free. Thursday through Saturday, 72 hours of silence. I don't hear from them. Thursday, not a text, not a call, nothing. Harper takes Friday off work and we drive to the coast. We walk on the beach, not talking about my family, just existing. The wind is cold and the sand is gray, and it feels good to be somewhere that has nothing to do with who I'm supposed to be. What do you think they'll do? Harper asks as we watch waves crash against the rocks. I don't know. I pick up a piece of driftwood, smooth and worn. Part of me wants them to refuse so I can finally be done. Part of me wants them to say yes so I can have a family that actually sees me. Both can be true. Everyone keeps saying that. She smiles. Because it's true. Friday night, we're making dinner when my phone buzzes. Not my parents. Aunt Maria, my mother's sister. The email subject line, I'm proud of you. I open it with shaking hands. Anna, your mother called me yesterday, upset. She showed me what you presented to them, the spreadsheet, the loan terms, all of it. I need you to know something. I've watched this pattern for years. I've bitten my tongue at family gatherings when I saw how differently you were treated. I told myself it wasn't my place to interfere, that your parents knew what they were doing. I was wrong to stay silent. What you did took tremendous courage. You didn't let them off the hook with easy forgiveness. You asked for accountability. That's not cruel. It's healthy. Whatever they decide, you did the right thing. You're teaching them that love requires honesty, not just obligation. I love you. I see you. I always have. Aunt Maria, this is twist number 4. The realization that I wasn't crazy, that others saw it too. They just didn't speak up. I show Harper the email. She reads it, then pulls me into a hug. You're not alone in this, she whispers. I'm starting to believe that. Saturday, 11:47 p.m., 13 minutes before my deadline expires. My phone lights up. Dad calling. I let it ring 3 times before answering. Anna. His voice is rough, like he's been crying or shouting or both. We agree. All of it. The loan, the therapy, everything. Can we meet tomorrow? I close my eyes. I don't feel victorious. I don't feel relieved. I just feel tired. Sunday, 2 p.m. Same place, I say. Okay, Anna, We'll talk tomorrow, Dad. I hang up before he can finish. Harper finds me sitting on the bathroom floor, phone in my hand, staring at nothing. They said yes, I tell her. How do you feel? Like I just opened a door I can't close. I look up at her. What if this doesn't work? What if they go through the motions but nothing actually changes? Then at least you'll know you tried. She sits beside me on the cold tile. And if it doesn't work, you walk away with a clear conscience. We sit there for a long time, the bathroom light humming overhead, two people on a floor choosing each other when blood couldn't be counted on. 2 weeks later, I'm sitting in Dr. Yolanda Singh's office, a space designed to feel safe. Soft lighting, comfortable chairs, a bookshelf full of titles about family systems and healing. My whole family is here, Mom and Dad on the love seat, Jessica and Marcus on chairs, me alone on the couch, Harper in the waiting room. Dr. Singh is a black woman in her 50s with kind eyes and an energy that says she's seen every family dynamic imaginable and won't be shocked by ours. Let's start with ground rules, she says. Everyone speaks without interruption. We use I feel statements, not accusations. And most importantly, we're here to understand, not to win. She looks at each of us. Who wants to begin? Silence. Then my mother speaks. I don't understand why we're here. We agreed to Anna's terms. We're paying the loan on time. What more does she want? Anna, Dr. Singh turns to me. What do you want? I take a breath. I want them to understand what they did. Not just apologize because I forced them to, but actually see the pattern. What pattern? Mom asks. I look at her, this woman who raised me, who I still love despite everything. The pattern where Jessica was the daughter you invested in, and I was the daughter you expected to manage on her own. That's not... Mom stops herself, glances at Dr. Singh. It's okay to have a reaction, Dr. Singh says gently, but let Anna finish. Jessica got a car at 16. I got a birthday card. Jessica got college paid for. I got student loans. Jessica got a wedding. My voice catches. I got to be strong. That was my gift. Strength without support. My father's jaw works. We thought you preferred independence. Did you ask me? Silence. Did you ever once ask if I needed help? Or did you just assume I was fine because I didn't fall apart? We were proud of you, Dad says quietly. You were so capable. I was capable because I had to be. The words burst out. You gave Jessica safety nets and told her she was precious. You gave me obstacles and told me I was strong. Do you know what that feels like? To be proud and alone at the same time? My mother is crying now, and it's my turn to feel guilty. But Dr. Singh catches my eye and shakes her head slightly. Don't take it back. Linda, Dr. Singh says, what comes up for you hearing this? Mom wipes her eyes. I didn't mean to hurt her. Jessica needed more help. She struggled in school, struggled with confidence. Anna was always so... together. Because I had no choice, I say again. Jessica finally speaks, her voice small. I felt guilty, every time. Every car payment, every check, every celebration. I turn to look at her, startled. This is twist number 5, Jessica's confession. I saw how differently they treated you, Jessica continues, and she's crying too now. I saw it and I felt bad about it, but I didn't want to give it up. So I told myself you were fine. I used your strength as an excuse to keep taking. This honesty cracks something in me. I'm not fine, I say, and my voice breaks. I graduated college alone. I bought my first car alone. I've done everything alone, and every time I succeeded, you all acted like it proved I didn't need you. But I did need you. I just learned not to ask. The session continues, raw and painful. Dr. Singh guides us through decades of hurt, peeling back layers. By the end, nothing is fixed, but something has shifted. As we're leaving, my father touches my arm. Same time next week? I nod. It's a start. The next 6 months are messy. February, the first loan payment arrives, $698 on time. I transfer it to a separate account, labeled Jessica Loan Repayment. It feels clinical. It is clinical. March, session 5 explodes. Jessica misses therapy because Marcus has a work emergency. Dr. Singh's voice is firm. This violates the agreement. I consider calling the loan. Jessica shows up the next week, terrified. I was scared, she admits. Scared of what might come up if we kept digging. We dig anyway. We uncover Jessica's fear of being the bad guy, her realization that she's been playing the golden child role she never actually asked for. It doesn't excuse anything, but it explains something. April. My mother texts at 9 p.m. on a Friday. Can you watch the kids tomorrow? Jessica has a wedding to attend. The old pattern, emerging like muscle memory. I text back. No. Also, that's not an emergency. Mom. You're still angry? Me. I'm not angry. I'm just not available. She doesn't respond for a week. I feel guilty. Then I remember. This is the boundary work. This is what choosing myself looks like. May. Small victory. My father texts me a job posting. Saw this senior engineer role and thought of you. It's the first time he's shown interest in my career unprompted. It's small. It might not seem like much, but I cry anyway, because small is more than I ever had. Later that week, Dad takes me to coffee. Just us. He apologizes, really apologizes. Not the kind where you explain away what you did, but the kind where you name it. I see it now, he says. How much I looked away. How I let your mother make all the parenting decisions and told myself that was fine. You deserved better. You deserved a father who showed up. It's not perfect, but it's real. June. All 6 loan payments have arrived on time. The financial counselor reports that Jessica and Marcus's spending has dropped 40%. They canceled the Hawaii trip, took the loss, and used the refund for an extra payment. Progress. Slow, imperfect, but real. December arrives cold and bright. The extended family Christmas is at Grandpa Martinez's house, like always. 30 people, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins I barely know. I almost canceled 3 times. You don't have to go, Harper says the morning of. I know, but I want to see if they actually do it. The public acknowledgement. The thing my mother fought hardest against. The thing that matters most. We arrive at 3 p.m. The house smells like tamales and pine. Cousins are playing in the yard. Normal family chaos. My stomach is churning. After dinner, before dessert, my mother stands. Her hands are shaking. The room quiets. This is climax number 2. I need to say something, Mom begins, her voice unsteady. She's holding a piece of paper, but I can see it's not the statement I wrote. She wrote this herself. For most of Anna's life, Robert and I created a dynamic where Jessica received the majority of our financial support, our attention, our celebration. We told ourselves it was because Jessica needed more help. But the truth is, we took Anna's strength for granted. The room is silent. Aunt Maria is crying. Anna worked 3 jobs through college while we paid for Jessica's education. Anna graduated alone because we chose Jessica's baby shower. We asked Anna to rescue emergencies while rarely asking how she was doing. My mother's voice cracks, but she continues. This was unfair. This was hurtful. And it stops now. Anna, in front of everyone here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making you invisible in your own family. I'm sorry that it took you setting boundaries for me to finally see you. She looks directly at me. You deserve better. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life proving that. The silence that follows feels like the world holding its breath. Then Jessica stands, walks to me, and hugs me. I'm sorry, too, for all of it. I hug her back, and we're both crying, and it's not a perfect moment. I'm still guarded, still cautious, but it's real. Grandma Martinez speaks up. About damn time someone said it. A few people laugh, the tension breaks, and slowly the party resumes. But something has changed. The truth has been spoken. Witnessed. I can breathe. 18 months after the ask. My life looks different now. I'm a senior engineer making $145,000. I live in a bright apartment with tall windows designed by Harper. The loan from Jessica. 18 of 84 payments made, all on time. 3 years remain. My relationship with my family is cautious but present. Monthly dinners with my parents, just us, cooking together, learning each other. Jessica and I meet separately every 6 weeks. We're not as close as Mom wants us to be, but we're honest for the first time. The family therapy sessions ended after a year. I continue individual therapy. Dr. Singh's last words. You didn't just save yourself. You gave them a chance to become better people. The app I developed during all this, FairShare, for family expense splitting with accountability, went viral. My pain became my purpose. My 29th birthday, I'm expecting quiet dinner with Harper. The doorbell rings. My parents, Jessica, Marcus, the kids, holding a cake with candles, and a gift. I open it. Car keys. Outside, Jessica's old Honda Civic. The one from her 16th birthday. Used but maintained, 13 years old. Jessica's crying. I've been saving to buy it back from the person we sold it to. It's 13 years late, but happy birthday, Anna. This is climax number 3. The gesture isn't about the car. It's about Jessica finally seeing the disparity, finally understanding what I never had. I'm crying too, but this time it's not just pain. It's release. Present day, I drive the Civic to work now, not because I need to. I could afford a new car, but because every time I hold these keys, I remember, I used to think love meant sacrifice. Now I know love means honesty. My family isn't perfect. Neither am I. But we're learning to see each other. I park outside my office building, check my phone. Mom, dinner Sunday? Just checking if you're free, not assuming Jessica. Saw your app in Forbes. That's my sister, Dad. Proud of you, kiddo. I smile. Type back. See you Sunday. Walk into the building, head high, shoulders relaxed. The car keys I never got at 16 sit in my pocket now at 29. They're not shiny like they would have been back then, but they're real, and they're mine. I'm not always last anymore. Sometimes I'm exactly where I need to be, first in my own life,